Let's test out how the agent is turning out to be. What is in the AI 2027 paper? First of all, the model is processing the query itself, and then now it calls the tool to actually search the web and then get the related information. Once it gets the relevant information, it actually gives us a response of what is happening inside of AI 2027 paper, as you can see right here. So for this one, you're gonna have to have an n8n instance. It could be local or self-hosted, that doesn't matter. And then you'll also have to have an LLM API key for the model that you'd like to use. Or if you're using the local setup, you can actually go for Ollama models as well. So I do have a 1-minute short release where I show some of the options to get free API keys. And then there is another short to explain how to locally install n8n as well. In fact, I will link those down. Also, all right, so once you're inside of n8n, let's actually create a new workflow. I'm just going to call this the main agent. This is the one that is going to use the web search to actually get context. So let's just use the chat trigger node. And then I'm going to connect this with an AI agent. And the chat model, for my case, is going to be Google Gemini because I already have an account set up. And I will also be using Gemini 3 Pro Preview. This is the latest model from Gemini as of now. So we're going to have to create 2 other workflows to set up 2 other tools. I'm going to first start with the actual web search content itself. So let's just save this for now. In fact, I'm just going to add in a simple memory 5 as the context window. I'm just going to save it. Actually, let's just make it 10 and save it once again. Now come to the main folder and create another workflow. I'm just going to call this search web. Now over here, you will have to initially set up the actual primary node to search the web from. And inside of that is where you're actually going to give in the search queries. And so here, there's a few options. And the first option that I'm going to show you is going to be DuckDuckGo. So if you have not installed this yet, because this is a community node, so you're going to click on install and it will install the node itself onto your n8n instance. And then once you've made sure that it is installed, you're going to see a screen something like this. And from here, you're just going to click on search the web. Over here, you can actually control all of these metrics. I'm just going to actually turn off safe search for now. And then we have to enter a search query. So let's just actually do AI 2027 paper. Let's just change this to 5. All right, now if I just do execute workflow, it's actually going to give me back the results. And since we have mentioned that we need 5 results, it actually returned 5 pages with content. You're going to see something like a description and a snippet. This is just like the initial few lines of the web page itself. This is not the complete web page. Of course, I'll show you how to extract the full content so that you are giving your AI agent the better information. But for now, we're just going to live with this. So I'm going to first of all isolate this one and the URL. These are the 2 things that I'm going to give back to my AI agent. So before I do that, right now I've actually hard-coded the search query. We have to change it to an input format. So I'm just going to do it through actually having an execute trigger. Let's actually first delete this trigger and use execute. Now inside of this trigger, you're going to first add in a field. I'm just going to call this search query, and I'm also going to do max sites to search. All right, and then we will also have to write in a sample data just to make sure that it's working. So let's just copy this, paste it here, copy this one, paste it here. It's going to put in 5, and this is going to be AI 2027 paper. All right, let's hit save. You have to connect this. And after connecting, you have to go to your DuckDuckGo search engine, just cut this and drag and drop this. And over here, just cut this and put this one. All right, now let's hit execute workflow, and it used the same search query as we expected, and it works. So let's just try another one. Let's do Nano Banana Pro documentation. Hit save, and then execute workflow. Now you're going to get 5 new items along with the URLs. All right, now from here, I'm just going to hit edit, fields node. And from here, we are going to isolate the description and the URL. So to do that, I'm actually going to grab in the edit fields node, actually connect this over here. And from here, I'm actually going to drag and drop the description and the URL directly. So now if I execute this, we actually do return 5 items. I don't want to return it as 5 items. Instead, I want to put all of them into an array. So to do that, I'm actually going to use the aggregate node. This will combine many results to 1 in the format of an array. So I'm just going to put description first, and I'm also going to add another, do URL this time. All right, now you get 2 arrays of description and URL. Now from here, it's actually connected to here. Let's delete this and drag and drop this, and also drag and drop this. And we're going to return 2 arrays. So if you look at it, we're going to get 2 array objects. All right, and one other thing that you have to keep in mind is whenever you're using DuckDuckGo node, it's actually important to give it a little bit of time before executing the search. So I'm going to use the wait node. This actually waits for a set amount of time, which I'm just going to set it as 10. And so it's going to wait for 10 seconds before sending the data that we received to here. So now I'm actually going to execute this workflow. It's going to execute for 10 seconds. And then it actually goes to DuckDuckGo, which returns 5 items, which is again aggregated to 2 arrays, and those are the 2 arrays that we're going to return. Now there are a few other web search options. This is the free one that you're just going to download through Community Node. One of the other platforms is going to be Tavily. Now this again is a web search tool which is just very much optimized for LLM. And the best part is they have a very generous free tier. In fact, if I just go to their billing, they do say that I get 1,000 API credits every single month. So if I just go to the overview, it's going to create an API key and then copy it. Right now I already have created one, I've copied it. And then what you would actually do is go to your n8n instance. Here, just type in Tavily. This again is another community node. You can download it directly and then hit search. Now for me, it says that I've already created a credential, but if I just go ahead and create new, you'll put your API key here and then hit save. But I'm not going to do that because I've already done that. All right, the query is just going to be same. I'm also going to do max results, but we're going to use the same. Let's just make sure that it's working. So I'm going to cut here and then connect the workflow here and drag and drop this one and this one. If I execute this workflow once again, it's actually going to wait for 10 seconds. I always recommend using a wait node just to make sure that the search results are typical and ideal. All right, inside of Tavily, it actually returns the results in the format of an array only. And if I look at the aggregate node, which returned 0 items. So you're going to have to create these 2 once again, but then this time optimized for Tavily. I'm not going to do that. I'll just let you do that. Anyways, let's just connect it here. And the next option that I'm going to show you is the traditional Google search itself. They actually give you the search API where you can actually do 250 searches a day for free. And in order for you to set this up, you're going to have to come to this site right here. And then you will create a new search engine. For this, you will have to give a name, which I'm just going to call YouTube tutorial for now. And I'm just going to hit on search the entire web. Let's add image search and hit create. And once it does, I'm going to hit on customize. I'm going to copy the search engine ID. And then over here, you will hit this button, which will take you to another new page. And over here, you will hit a get API key. You can either create a project, or if you already have one set up, you can actually create one of these. So I'm going to do this one and hit next. And from here, just going to hit confirm and continue. And then you will just copy the API key right here. Now, once you've copied those 2, you're just going to come back to your n8n instance. And from here, you're just going to add in the HTTP request node, where you will paste in this as the URL. You will send in query parameters. The first one's going to be key, which you just copied. And then I'm also going to add in another parameter, and this time it's going to be the search engine ID. So I'm just going to call this CX, the search engine ID that you copied. If you come over here, you can actually find it here. And apart from this, you're also going to add in your query. Let's just do AI 2027 paper once again. All right, so I'm just going to hit execute step. And this is actually going to return the results. And over here, if you scroll down and find the items, over here you're going to see item 0 up to item 9. So this returns 10 pages, and from there you're actually going to get the link along with the snippet / the description. So these are the 3 options that I majorly end up using, but for now I'm just going to stick with DuckDuckGo, and I'm going to call that this is my sub workflow, and these 2 are just other options. You can actually set up load balancing as well over here, but since DuckDuckGo is just completely free, you'll be good as long as you set up this wait node over here. I'm just going to hit save and then publish over here. Got it. Now I'm just going to go back to our main agent. And from here, I'm just going to hit tool, call n8n tool, select the one that we just created. And the first one's going to be search query and max sites to search. I'm just going to click this button, which will ask for the model that you're using to automatically define this parameter. And for this to happen efficient, we'll have to give a proper tool description. And also, you're going to have to set up a system message which has proper context. So I'm going to leave both of the prompts that I'm going to be using in this video at the description. It's kind of going to look like this. I'm actually using the expression. By default, it's going to be at the fixed. You just have to change it to expression. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I'm actually sending in the current date along with the current time. And these few lines right here, it is for the context that I was talking about earlier. That is just to get full contents of the web page. We'll actually get to that in a bit. So if you're using this, just make sure that you're giving this to ChatGPT and optimizing the prompt. I'm just going to use this for now. I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm going to actually have to go ahead and give a tool description. It's going to be this, which again, I'm just going to keep it simple. All right. So that's it. I'm just going to hit save, and then let's test out how the agent is turning out to be. So let's just try asking a generous question. What is in the AI 2027 paper? Hit enter. So if you look at the workflow, first of all, the model is processing the query itself, and then now it calls the tool to actually search the web and then get the related information. All right, once it gets the relevant information, it actually gives us a response of what is happening inside of AI 2027 paper, as you can see right here. So if we come back to the workflow, you can actually see that the tool was actually called twice. It is actually sending in the AI 2027 paper as the search query, where we actually see the description along with the URLs returned. And notice how I told the AI agent that there is another tool to get full context out here, which is Gina Reader. And I said that we will get to that. But since I haven't set it up, the agent actually tried to use the same search tool itself again to send in a site-specific query again, and our tool just did the same thing. It gave us descriptions, but the URL are always going to be grounded to ai2027.com, and that was because the agent was itself very smart to do so. But what if it's not? And the main drawback that I see here is the description is not going to be the entire content of the web page. As I said earlier, it's just going to be a snippet of what is happening in the entire web page. And to get better results, to give more context to the AI agent, we need the full content from the web. And to do this, we're going to have to add in another tool, which is what I'm going to set up. So I'll just go and create a new workflow. I'm just going to call this Gina Reader. And from here, so what I'm going to do is again, set up the execute workflow. I'm just going to get the URL as the input for now. I'm just going to again set up. And since this time it's just one URL, we're going to use ai2027.com and hit save. All right, now I'm going to show you a code node, and I'll actually explain the reason why I set it up. So you're going to add a code node right here. And then the code will be in JavaScript, this one. All right, so there is a service called Gina, which actually gives us the entire content of the web page by just adding an https r.gina.ai along with the URL that we have right here. So if you do that, it's actually going to fully extract the content inside of the web page and actually give it in a markdown format. And LLMs actually love markdown format responses. So that's the exact reason why we're going with Gina Reader. To make sure that this is working, I'm actually going to execute this workflow and we get the output just like this one. Now, along with this, you might notice that I have accept and user agent. This is to just make sure that we're using the HTTP request node properly. So that's going to be the next node. These are the only 3 parameters that you have to set. First one's going to be the URL, which is going to be here. Just going to send headers because it says it's going to type in accept and let's do JSON. This is to just make sure that the response, the actual response itself, we're going to get it in JSON format. The user agent is just going to be this one right here. So now let's actually execute this. This is actually going to describe the entire content from the web page, and it gives us in the markdown format with the description aside along with the title. So let's actually have it over here and put it inside of the edit fields node. Grab the content, put it over here. And if I just open it, hit the markdown, you can see that the thing itself is just neatly formatted so that our AI agent can actually understand it better. Now, one other thing is to just be safe and also add in a wait node over here as well. Just to wait and hit 7 seconds. And that's going to be one way of actually scrapping content from the web page. There's the other way to do, which is to extract from Tabili itself. If you just do Tabili, you will actually see that they do have this extract option, and for over here it's going to add in the URL. In fact, let me show you again, ai2027.com, and execute this step, and this is actually going to give you the raw content once again, and that's going to be the extractor tool. If you go back to your main agent, you can actually add in the Gina Reader right now. Just come over here and do Gina Reader, and we need to put it in the tool description for this one as well. Again, I'll keep it simple for now, but if you'd like to optimize it, you can use ChatGPT to do that. So let's just do something like this and save. So we're going to do what's in the AI 2027 paper. If I click over here, it says that the workflow is not active and cannot be executed. So I made a mistake over there. So let's just go over here and do publish. Save it. So make sure that you're publishing your workflow. Come back over here and then do the same thing again. Go to the editor, actually paste this again. Start. And actually I did not let the model to actually define this tool. So you're gonna have to make sure that you enable this one as well. So let's actually try it for the 3rd time. All right, and this time at least we get the full content in the markdown format. It actually took quite a number of tokens right here. So that actually comes with that cost. So if you're sending in full context information, so the input tokens are just going to explode. And from here, now it gives us a response, but this time it actually had the content that we know that we needed to extract from web. I'm actually going to show you something that is very important when it comes to search. In the DuckDuckGo community page itself, you just go down and find this one right here. They actually give you this advanced search operators. So what this basically means is when you put this in your search query and then the actual query itself, it's actually going to ground the query towards the specific site. We saw my model actually did this for the AI 2027 site, and there are other operators which are very handy. So if you do file type PDF and then do AI 2027, in fact, let's actually show you how it's working. I'll just go over here, and then instead of this, I'm just going to do this one, and then actually drag the search query here. And let me actually change this to AI 2027 paper itself and execute this. Now, if you see right here, you actually get this link. If I copy it and paste it and see, it's actually going to give me the AI 2027 paper itself. This is in the PDF format, and that's because I've explicitly mentioned that the file type I want it to be in PDF. And there are other such things that you can actually use. So if you do in title as machine learning, in the web page that it's searching for, if machine learning exists, those are the results that it's going to pop up initially. And then in the URL, if you do something like this in URL as tutorial, and the URL itself actually has to have that term that you're specifying. And then if you put your query or a specific set of keyword inside these quotes, you're going to actually find that it performs phrase matching to show you the top results that matches these phrases. Apart from that, you can actually have exclude as well to exclude any specific items. You can actually add this information to your system prompt if you'd like to do that. So you're actually using the web search in a much more efficient way. And apart from this, the last thing that I wanted to cover is to show you one additional method of how you can set up search, which is to go to Google's AI Studio and then hit the build section. And over here, you can actually describe the thing that you're trying to build, but whatever you're typing in, just make sure that you're clicking this button right here, which says use Google search data. So your app actually has this feature where the info that is being retrieved is actually grounded to Google search. And that about wraps it up. I'll link these two workflows in the description box as well. And these two are plug and play tools where you can actually add it as a tool to any of the AI agent in the future that you're building. And also don't forget the AI Studio version as well if you're just going to do it through code. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching, and maybe I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.